you a question, and you have 5 seconds to choose from the following answers. What color is the sky? A, blue, B, light blue, C, medium blue, or D, dark blue? Now, think about that question for just a second before you actually answer it. In the real world, the sky is blue, so technically any one of those answers could be correct. But in the standardized testing world, only one can be correct. For years, high school students have been subject to taking these standardized tests, most commonly known as the ACT or the SAT, for entrance into college and scholarship consideration. And more often than not, it hurts them rather than helps them. Take my word for it. I took the ACT 4 times, and every single time I made a 21. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change the path that I'm on right now, but my life would be dramatically different if that wouldn't have mattered whenever I applied for college and scholarships. There are a few main points why I think that the ACT and the SAT should not be used to determine college acceptance and scholarship consideration. They are that standardized testing only measures a day's worth of knowledge. The tests are timed, and students or parents have to pay a testing fee for a required test. The first reason why I think that they shouldn't be used is because they don't give them enough knowledge just from the test. They don't support a student's everyday grades from 9th to 12th grade. To me, that's just not right. Some students have test anxiety, like myself. So if they have test anxiety, they're not going to do as good on a test, which is going to lower their scores and which is going to make it harder for them to get into college and be able to help pay for it. Also, some questions on the test that I've gotten before aren't covered within the year. So how is somebody supposed to determine whether you should get into college or whether you should be able to help pay for it if it's not even right? Not to mention, how is a student supposed to do good on a test that's timed? The ACT is typically 4 hours long. It's split up into 4 sections, which are about an hour long, and depending on the amount of questions, typically 50 to 70, that gives you less than a minute for each question. So that puts more pressure on students, which often gives lower test scores. And for somebody like myself, who normally would crack under pressure, it only harms them. So is also spending a necessary amount of money on standardized testing that is required. ACTs are usually around $40. SATs are around $60. They're essentially the same test, so there really shouldn't be a big difference. But other than that, these tests are required. You literally have to take one your senior year in high school. Therefore, they shouldn't cost anything. Test fees can be waived if the student qualifies for financial aid, but for those of us, like myself, who don't qualify for financial aid but still can't pay for college, it only causes us to spend more money out of pocket. Money shouldn't be what stands in the way of a student going to college or being able to pay for it. None of these things should. These things are that standardized testing shouldn't be used for college admission and standardized and scholarship consideration because they don't test a student's full knowledge. They are timed and they cost an unnecessary amount of money. The ACT shouldn't be used to consider a student's future. Just think about how many more students will be able to go and pay for their dream college, or how many students could just have the opportunity to go to college in general if these standardized tests weren't standing in the way, ready to knock them down. Thank you. Ooh.